The movement design of this game is really fun, provided you don't die, and then it cuts to the loudest ad you have ever heard. God damn it. God damn it. Ah! God damn it. God, what am I doing?
Who am I? Someone that's afraid to let go. You just
Yeah, it's
That sounds fucking great. What is that?
Ad perennial gaming movie.
Oh, legit?
Yeah.
Based on what? Oh.
It's the Sandman.
Nice. Cool.
No, it's the Audible book.
Oh.
The Audible book.
Still, though. That's, well, I mean, Amazon. Aside from Amazon. But we could pirate it.
Spiceberries growing bushes, yeah?
God damn it.
Okay, that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Purple is her favorite color.
Maybe if I... Yes.
She dyes her hair, right?
Yeah. One of them with the weird colored hair doesn't dye their hair because they're a kid of the wizard. I think it might be again. I'm pretty sure the story is that Abigail's mom cheated on her dad with the wizard.
Damn it.
And they had Abigail as a kid. But Abigail's not naturally purple hair because of the inherent magic in it.
I think she literally says she dyes it though.
One of them says they dye it and one of them doesn't, and I can't remember which way around it is.
Play more game for school. This one's actually really good. What's it called? I've forgotten, but I'll send it to you. It's just one of those typical jump puzzle game.
Maybe it's the one with blue head.
Imagine that as a justification though. Like you're in high school and you don't want to say like I dye my hair because I'm sad or I went through a breakup. You're just like, yeah, my mom fucked a wizard.
Literally in Stardew, there's a few people with not natural colored hair, but one of them it is their natural color because their mom cheated on their dad with the wizard. They have like 2 kids, and one of them has non-natural colored hair, and one of them has natural colored hair. And they've been with their dad this whole time, so the only other person in town with non-natural colored hair is the wizard.
And the milkman. God, this is so finicky. It's not finicky, I'm just shit at games, but yeah. Also, I have long nails, and that's not helping.
And you talk to the wizard, and like at some point he mentions her, and he's like, "Oh, I wonder how she's doing." And you're like, "Oh, you're fucked."
Yeah. Have you met your kid?
Yeah.
I was playing a game before, the Space Force game, which I did not like, but it keeps track of how many times you've died, which feels pretty shitty. But I kind of wish this game kept track of how many times I've died just because I'm curious. I want it to be there, but I want it to be optional.
Yeah. I mean, usually games have like a statistics thing where you've hit and how many times you've died and that sort of shit.
Hmm.
I like it when games have a statistics board and I can be like, oh, I've died 784 times so far and I've hit 3 enemies. Cool.
Steam's good at that. Steam's always good at that. Like, I played over 800... Oh, fucking hell. Over 800 hours of Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. I was pretty proud of that.
Mm.
I don't know if it keeps track of the deaths, but probably a lot of deaths. Have you ever played Binding of Isaac? It is really fucking good. Oh, damn it. God, why did I do that? Just chest first. Just face first into a spike. I'm a genius.
I have played Binding of Isaac, yeah, I didn't like it.
Really?
I don't like roguelike games that just rely on my motor skill.
Rogue
My motor
games?
skill's not getting any better.
Did you say rogue games?
Roguelike. They're ones where when you die, you die.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I know, like, no game terminology.
Yeah.
I just know that I've died a billion times in this game.
Roguelike games are, you know, when you run out of lives, it isn't just you go back to a save point, it's you have to restart the whole thing.
Like Pac-Man and classic shit like that.
Yeah, classic shit is roguelike games.
Hmm.
I don't like ones where it's, I don't mind strategy roguelike games because I can slowly, like, figure out what the game wants from me, and the more playthroughs, the more you, like, remember shit and can adapt to it and actually advance. But if it's purely relying on my motor skills, like, those are advanced as they're gonna get. If I can't get through the game after the first few tries, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, you're better at a one where it lets you take your time deciding what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like Final Fantasy, Pokemon, turn-based.
Yeah. And even then, I mean, I don't mind if it's turn-based or not so much. Just if it's
Thank
like
God.
a shooter type thing, then And
Mm.
even then, if you don't make any, like, actual progress in the game from the amount of times you died, like, you collect additional power-ups to make it easier or something, it's not worth it to me. I play it, like, 3 times, and I'm like, I've experienced this, you know?
Yes, I understand what you mean. God damn it. It is very finicky, but I'll give it this. I'm assuming death is kind of built into this. Like, because even though I am bad at this, I'm assuming that death is kind of built in because the deaths are so smooth and so quick and so functional. Like, it doesn't feel... It feels clean and simple to have died. Like, it's not a big fucking deal. You know? Like, when I was talking about anglerfish, when you know you're about to die and it takes you, like, 5 whole seconds to die... And it's like, come on, man, I just want to get it over with. And then once you die, like, an ad plays or whatever, and it's like, come on.
Yeah, no, that's bad. That's bad game design.
Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't make fun of anglerfish, because inevitably I will design something of the same quality as anglerfish the first couple games I make. And to pay that person their pittance or whatever, like, they probably published one of their first ever games. And good for them, you know, maybe they've made some money off of it or something.
Games that play an ad after you die piss me off, though, because it's like adding insult to injury.
Yeah,
Like,
it is. Yeah.
I fucked up, and now I have to wait 30 seconds for this fucking ad.
Oh, yeah. Especially when it's like, yeah, it's like barely skippable, or it's skippable, but after like 10 seconds. But I understand that people need their money. They need that sweet money.
There's games that I played that have much better placement of ads than that.
I just leapt into a ceiling fan and died immediately.
Well fucking done.
Darwin Awards. I wonder if...
I wonder if it was that ceiling fan at my friend's house.
I forgot about that. Callback.
They were like, yeah, they had an electrician over and
damn
he
it.
was just digging through the walls going, what the fuck?
What
What the fuck? Like, climbing through the ceiling, and they just heard, what the fuck? And they were like, I think this is going well.
Imagine building, like, a saw trap, but for an electrician. Where they get, like, trapped in a house and they have to, like, rewire their way out of it without getting electrocuted. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. The electrician basically came down and was like, good news, I found the source of your problem. Bad news, it's unfixable, and if you touch your ceiling fan, you will die.
Bad news, a lunatic built your house.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, Hannah harvested a silver star chili.
Nice, she can use that for the harvesting.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'd like to play Stardew at some point.
You should, it's really good. I have it on, like, multiple different platforms. Because...
It really feels like a you type of game. Like, when I said it's a Des game, everything about it screams Des to me. Oh,
Yeah,
babe.
you should play Stardew Valley.
I have it on, PS4 or PC, depending on what you'd rather.
Yeah, Hannah's playing your PS4 one, remember?
What?
Remember?
Do
We lent
you?
it to Hannah.
Oh, yeah!
That's how she's playing.
Okay, Hannah's playing my Stardew Valley, so you can play it on the computer.
That's fair. I might not have time at the moment. I'm too busy dying in this dumb video game. But I would love to at some point.
It
I've
is
heard-
also really good for, because it's a lot of what made me realize that I could make my own 2D game.
That's
'Cause
sweet.
it was made by one dude, and it's very...
Was it made in RPG Maker?
No, it was made in the same... It's a similar program, it's the same one that Undertale was made in.
That's RPG Maker, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
RPG Maker is its own thing. It's specifically for RPGs, whereas the one that they made it in that I can't remember the name of right now is just a top-down
Why?
2D
Sorry.
game maker. It doesn't necessarily, it isn't locked to being in a role-playing game. And it's a bit more flexible in that way. It's
That
a
was
bit
dumb.
of a better program, but RPG Maker was going for $10 when it was usually $1,200.
I thought it was free. Holy shit.
No. The whole package that I got was usually $1,200 worth of software, and I got it through a charity giveaway for $10.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It was insane. It was insane. Like, I couldn't not buy that and then use it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I would not be into game design, and I'd still be like, yeah. I'll change my career path. It's $10. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Stardew Valley and Undertale are a lot of what made me realize that I could make my own games, because they were both just made by one dude that's a top-down RPG that became really, like, famous, and they're well-known.
I think watching Indie Game the movie is what got me into thinking about, and watching The Beginner's Guide being played through, because it is about one man examining a games made by one man, and it's like they're not that complex, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
Like, they're not puzzles or anything. They're just like a storytelling mechanism.
The point is that it's fun to play and it's interesting and it has good premise. Which I lost a lot of.
Oh. Sorry.
Sorry.
I got nearly at the end, and then I hit a spike that I didn't know was there, because I was not looking at it. I was just like, home!
Yeah, I hate that. The adrenaline rush that makes you die right before you get to the goal.
Yeah.
I do that all of the time in games.
I'm sure it's there for that reason, to be fair.
Yeah. The fucking... Like, I'd associated video games so much with AAA games that just keep trying to push realistic graphics that I'd forgotten about cute, actually really fun little indie games that are, like, easy to make and program. But...
And limited resources in that way is kind of a discipline in itself.
Pixel art has been improved to the point of it being like
its own whole art form.
its own whole art form at
Yeah.
this point, because it's such a limited platform to be working with, that people have honed the skill.
Mm.
And like little pixel art games like the original Final Fantasy games hold up even today, because they're just, and like the original Pokemon games and that sort of thing.
Because you're holding them to their own standard. Like, you're not holding them... It's like, you know how I've always talked about comic books and how comic book realism is so different from movie realism that when you translate comic books into movies, like, you... How am I still doing this? Sorry, I've literally run into the same thing like 150 times.
Yeah.
But, like, you speak to people in a specific language and train them to accept certain things, not just over the course of a movie, but over the course of a genre, and suddenly you can do anything. Like, you reshape their suspension of disbelief in your own way. Yeah, I don't know who's like, I know that like there's probably like hundreds of people who made comics slowly like that over time, and it just kind of evolved organically in its own way, where nobody, I don't think, made that decision intentionally. But like, or maybe because like dumb looking, goofy looking comics are easier to draw when people have big, funny shaped outfits and clothes and crazy stuff that's like really memorable.
That's something that I really liked about Into the Spider-Verse. I mean, Into the Spider-Verse is just a good movie.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh my god, you need to see it.
I've told people I've seen it.
It's genuinely a really good movie.
I've
and
wanted
they
to see
stick
it.
to that comic book style, which is like, thank you. They could have fucked that movie so hard, and they didn't.
Sorry.
That movie had so much potential for being like a Avatar live remake type of problem to comic book nerds, but they stuck to the source material and they did it in that sort of style, and it worked. And they did Miles Morales like actually really, really well.
I made it through the level, by the way. I've been working on it for... I'm recording this, by the way, for school.
Oh my god.
And I've been playing that level for probably 10 minutes.
Good luck.
I'm dumb, okay. I've got the square brain.
I'd probably do the same thing if I was recording myself. It fucks. If I'm just doing it for me, it's fine. If I'm like recording it or somebody's watching me,
To be fair, I'll use that as an excuse, but that is absolutely not why I'm bad at this. I don't have a game. Like, when I was a little kid, I was so bad at games, and my brothers always just sort of stood in and, like, did shit for me, or insisted that they do shit for me, or offered to do shit for me, that there's some things it built into my insecurity, and I just knew that I was bad at it, and I was too insecure to get over that, because my only way to play games was to play them in front of two people who were really good at games, because they had game consoles and I didn't.
Yeah, that's...
But it changed my relationship to gaming.
I at least had the freedom that... Because my brother wasn't over all the time, and the only other older person was my friend's older sister, who also wasn't over all of the time. If I got stuck in a game, that I could go and ask them to pass the level for me, rather than them just taking over.
Yeah, well, they never... I don't remember. Like, I remember them taking over, but I think that's an emotional memory rather than an accurate memory.
Yeah. There was only 2 times that I got stuck on a level of something and I needed to ask somebody older, just because I literally physically hadn't developed the motor skills for it yet.
Yeah, I think that's also part of it, is that I stopped playing Tekken next to my brothers because I was too self-conscious about it when my brother Anthony was living in our half-renovated house, and that must have been when I was like 6. But my brain doesn't remember it being 6. It feels like it was yesterday, so I was just like an idiot adult. But actually, I probably just didn't have the motor skills on account of being 6.
You probably literally had not developed the motor skills on account of being 6.
Which is weird, because I think of myself as not particularly skilled in terms of motor skills, but I've also been an artist my entire life.
Your lines are like really straight. They're straighter than mine.
I have like years and years of very finicky work done, so I guess I shouldn't think of myself like that, but
no.
It's just insecurity and being like the fear as a teenager of being accused of being a fake gamer girl was so intense, because if you fuck up a little bit, it means that you're lying and only doing this for attention. but I don't. You have no room to fuck up. You're either the best, or kill yourself. You know what I mean?
I'm really glad that my instant response to anything like that, and like obviously the insecurity would get into me, but mostly I just got angry about it.
I'm way more insecure than you are. Like when people tell me I'm bad at stuff, I just believe them.
I'm very glad that for some level of narcissism that I had, if people told me I was bad, I'd tell them to fuck themselves.
That's not even narcissism. That's just basic amounts of self-confidence that you deserve as a person.
Yeah.
Oh. Still, I made it to the fucking checkpoint. I made it to the checkpoint and I ran straight into a spike. Whee!